Jackson, and this morning I'm going to show a demonstration of how to flat iron hair. Excuse the blurriness because they're back to the person because they're mobile uploads. So this just shows the utensil, which I also have here, and of course the main utensil is a flat iron, and the flat iron is pretty much like a 20th century straightening comb. Another thing that I like to use is a defrizzer because my hair is very soft, very curly, and as soon as I go outside it turns into very close to an afro. So this frizz buster works very well, eliminating some of that. When flat ironing your hair, especially with the flat iron that I have, it's a sheet, so it heats into excess of 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So a good thing to use with that is a heat protector, so that you don't burn your hair out pretty much. Also a comb for parting. I have a mirror and a brush, but these are the specific materials for flat ironing your hair. Okay. The first thing that you want to do when flat ironing your hair is you want to start with clean hair, of course. Just like if you polish your nails, you want clean nails. You put makeup on, you want a clean face to start with. So you want to first, wash and dry your hair. Wash it however you wash it now is fine. And then when you blow dry your hair, you want to blow dry it as straight as possible for the best results because it's already so much straight, which will help you when you go to flat iron. You won't have to go over your hair so many times, and it'll eliminate some of the heat on your hair, which this is heat, but it'll eliminate the direct heat from the flat iron. The best way to flat iron your hair straight is to go in a brush dryer motion, where you brush it and pull it straight, then you go over the dryer with it, which will help you get your hair straighter with blow dryer. Next slide, please. The next thing you want to do is to section your hair. You want to part it into 4 sections, and the way you want to part it is from ear to ear, and also from the forehead to the nape of your neck to get 4 sections. And then you want to use a hair tie to kind of hold off the section that you're not using at the time. Next slide, please. The next thing you want to do is to begin to flat iron. And as you flat iron, you make smaller sections in the big section that you've already made. And as you begin to flat iron, you want to come down the hair in a very smooth, continued motion. A lot of people jerk down the hair, which is not the best thing because it'll burn your hair. And that's kind of when they kind of they flat iron and stop a little bit, keeping the heat on your hair too long. So if you want a continued motion, and you just go over maybe 2 or 3 times, you don't want to go too many times because you don't want to burn your hair. And this just shows me doing on the side, and as I move to the back. Slide. This here just shows kind of how it's finishing up. This shows the half and half, where I had done half of it, and the other half, which was frizzy and big, the way that I started. And this just kind of shows I was coming around. And this here is the final straightening with both sides. When you flat iron your hair, straight hair is nice, but sometimes it can be kind of boring. So you want to do some other things to it. So you can go to the next slide. And once it's straight, and this is not going against straightening your hair, because you can't even curl your hair with a curling iron if it's not already straight. So this is just showing how you can go through and maybe add some body to it if you go ahead and curl it. And what I do is not to add so much more heat, is I make really big sections in the same 4 sections. I do about 3 large sections in the bigger section. I just do really big floppy curls. Next slide, please. The next thing I do is to wrap my hair. And I know it kind of seems like I'm curling it and then brushing it out. But what it will do is when I comb this wrap out, brush it out, it'll give me more body. It'll make it a better wrap than it would be any other time. And wrapping your hair is kind of exactly what it sounds like. You're wrapping your hair around your head, all of it. It can be very trying if you don't know how to do it in the beginning, but if you keep trying, keep going, eventually you will get it, and it'll look a little bit better every night. And this is just what it looks like at the end, if you can see it. The next slide, please. And then, of course, you want to tie your hair up. Wrapping your hair and tying it up is a way to maintain straight hair. Because if you don't wrap your hair, if you don't tie it up, and you just go to bed on it at night, you'll wake up and it'll be what's called rubbed out. It'll be dry, it'll be big, and you'll be wondering why it's not straight. So this is a way to keep up with, to keep your hair straight so that you don't have to continue to burn it out every day. So again, start straight. We want to start with clean hair. You want to part it into 4 sections. Then you want to make sections that within the big 4 sections to straighten. And then to maintain it, you want to wrap it and you want to tie it up. And that's it for that part.